Lieutenant First Class Ellen Louise Ripley. This is her story. Born January 7th, 2092, at the Olympia colony on Luna. A keen tinkerer, Ellen gained a master's in engineering from the New York Aeronautics University and began serving with the US Merchant Navy, acting as co-pilot aboard the Zeleny. Ellen Ripley would eventually meet her future husband, Alex. Between flights, Alex and Ripley would conceive Amanda. Against regulations laid out by Weyland-Yutani, Ripley would allow the pregnancy to come to term, and following Amanda's 3rd birthday, Alex and Ripley parted ways. Alex having no further involvement with either of them. As a warrant officer aboard the commercial freighter Nostromo, Ripley would miss Amanda terribly, to the point of attempting to renegotiate her contract so she would be allowed a leave of absence. The negotiations were a success, and Weyland-Yutani agreed that if Ripley served one more lengthy trip, then she would be allowed to take her leave. As a twisted turn of events, it would be this one last trip that cost her to miss her daughter's life as she slept in cryostasis. In June 2122, the crew of the Nostromo, still 10 months away from Earth and in hypersleep, are woken by Mother. A signal thought to be a distress beacon, coming from an unsurveyed moon and later becoming LV-426. The company's directives were very clear. Investigation of any unknown signal that may originate from intelligent life must be carried out. Setting down on the planetoid was not without risk, and the Nostromo became damaged. Dust entered and clogged the engine intake. This caused several systems to overheat and even resulted in an electrical fire aboard. Ripley stayed on board to supervise the repairs. The captain, Dallas, along with Kane and Lambert, attempted to locate the source of the transmission. Ripley, along with Mother's help, began attempting to decrypt the signal that begun this entire affair, leading to the answer that this was not in fact a distress signal as previously thought. With the team out of radio contact and Ripley now knowing the signal was a warning of some kind, she could only wait for their return, hoping for the best. Her wishes would not be answered. As the away team returned, they reported that Kane was unconscious, something apparently attached to his face. Stating the quarantine protocols, Ripley would refuse them entry to the Nostromo. The unknown organism and the crew, as per the protocols, must remain in the airlock for at least 24 hours. A standoff occurred between Dallas and Ripley until Ash intervened and, in an act that would undermine Ripley, opened the airlock. With Kane in the infirmary, Ripley confronted Ash about his reckless act. Taking her complaints further due to the risk involved and the line of command being broken, Ripley spoke to Dallas, only to be rebuffed. The organism, known as the Facehugger, soon detached from Kane. In a comatose state, but seemingly unharmed, the crew decided to take off. The repairs had been finalised and they were ready to leave LV-426 to continue their journey home. As they continued on their journey home, and with Kane now conscious, the crew decided to have a last supper of sorts before entering hypersleep again. Things would turn sinister here, and a creature would erupt from Kane's chest, bursting through it, if you will. Surprising and horrifying the crew, the chest burster disappeared into the depths of the ship. The crew, now armed with motion detectors, nets, and cattle prods, began searching for the creature. Unfortunately for them, the alien was now fully grown and started its killing spree. Brett was the first to die, and Dallas would disappear, seemingly captured by the beast. Following the chain of command, Ripley took charge, deciding that Dallas's initial plan was the best course of action. They attempted to drive the creature from its hiding place in the vents and into the airlock, then swiftly blasting it into space. Ash, seemingly reluctant to assist, claimed to have no knowledge of the alien that would be helpful in their mission. This, despite spending some time examining the remains of the Facehugger. This led Ripley to access the mother computer for answers, a revelation of Special Order 937. This special order had been given to Ash directly from Weyland-Yutani, and his directives would be to recover the xenomorph specimen at any cost. Deciding to confront Ash about this, he would set upon Ripley. Attacking, and moments away from killing her, she would be saved by Parker, taking Ash's head off and revealing that he was, in fact, an android. The beauty in an android's death is that it isn't the end. Ripley wired Ash's head and begun questioning him. His answers revealed that Weyland-Yutani had in fact deciphered the so-called distress signal on LV-426, long before the Nostromo had even left for its mission. They were aware of the xenomorph and had sent the ship to the planetoid on a recovery mission. Ash was placed among the crew to see this come to fruition. Upon learning this, Ripley had made up her mind: destroy the ship by engine detonation and board the escape shuttle. As Ripley prepped the shuttle, Parker and Lambert set about collecting essential oxygen tanks for the journey. During this, Parker and Lambert were attacked by the alien. Ripley hearing this as she had gone back aboard the Nostromo to collect the cat, Jones. Ripley, now alone, in space, set the self-destruct sequence and headed back to the Narcissus. The alien blocking her path and the self-destruct initiated, Ripley headed back to the Nostromo in an attempt to halt the process. Missing the 5 minutes and the ship heading for certain destruction, the only option was heading back and confronting the alien. The xenomorph apparently gone, Ripley boarded the Narcissus and launched, mere moments before the Nostromo detonated and exploded. Preparing to enter hypersleep, alone, exhausted, and ready for the ordeal to end, Ripley discovered that the alien had in fact stowed away aboard the Narcissus. Horrified and filled with dread, Ripley began to slowly and silently dress in one of the spacesuits. Her only option now to blast it out of the airlock. Opening the airlock and shooting it with a harpoon gun. The creature held on. Ripley blasted it with the ship's engines. Finally, the creature dead, Ripley recorded a final message of distress. She entered hypersleep with Jonesy, ready for her journey home. This is part 1 of a series bringing you more long-form content. If you did enjoy this video, then please consider leaving a like, and if you're new here, then please subscribe to stay tuned for the next video in Ellen Ripley's story. I've been Mr. H, and until next time, I'll catch you in the comment section.